Subscribe to this channel Techie Paddy and click that bell icon button to be the first ones to receive the latest updates about the latest videos on this channel Techie Paddy. In my previous video, I had spoken about whether you should update to iOS 11 or not. Some of you might have already updated to iOS 11, but some people might be facing an issue, that is the battery is draining way too quickly on upgrading to iOS 11. Hey guys, this is Noel Pargaonkar from Techie Paddy, and in this video I'll be giving you 13 tricks on how to save your battery life on iOS 11. So sit back and enjoy this video. Let's go! So the first step of saving battery on your iOS 11 device is to determine which application you have been using the most and how much battery does it consume. So for that you should go to settings and you should go to battery, and you can see over here battery usage. It will show you a list of applications which have used most of the battery. Like in my case it is YouTube, and if you click a button right over here, it can also show you how much time of that usage you were doing, like 1 hour on the screen, 2 minutes in the background, etc. So with the help of that you can determine which application is most used in the background or which application you use the most. Accordingly, you can reduce the amount of usage of that particular application. The next step I would recommend is keep your brightness low. Like for example, you just go to your control center and you can adjust your brightness with this switch right over here. But some people prefer to keep that auto brightness switch on. Guys, remember that auto brightness is also a sensor. So that sensor is always active and checking whether the surrounding is a dark surrounding or it's a bright surrounding. According to that, the battery keeps on using. So you should go to general, you should go to accessibility, then you should go to display accommodations, and then turn off this toggle switch off. So in that way you will be able to save a lot of battery. The next step is whenever you are using a flashlight, you should keep that intensity low. iOS 11 has provided a feature of keeping the intensity to the minimal. So you should go to your control center, 3D touch this torch option here, and then just keep the level to this much. Do not need to exceed this level to this high, as it consumes a lot of battery, so you can keep it as minimal option right over here. The next thing is you can even opt to use the low power mode. So it is in your control center right over here. And if you do not know how to add this right over here, you can refer my previous video about features of iOS 11. And when you just switch this on, the screen timeout is around 30 seconds and background apps stop refreshing all the time, and maybe your mails and all that will stop coming for some time and then it will come at once. The next thing is about mail. So you might be knowing that you might be receiving mails on your phone. Some use Apple Mail, some use Gmail, but receiving mails all the time on your device also reduces battery. So what you should do is to go to settings and you should go down to accounts and passwords. You can see right over here this is written fetch new data. So always you should prefer you do it fetch, or you should do it manual. Preferably do for the manual version, as manual will also save your battery and also not use the unnecessary internet connection. So in that way you are also saving battery life. The next step is about the most popular voice assistant system, that is Siri. So what you should do, you should go to settings, you should go to Siri and search and disable listen for Hey Siri. So listen for Hey Siri, basically what it does is keep Siri active in the background, and when it tries to listen whenever any person says Hey Siri, then it will react. So that is not at all necessary if you are not using the voice assistant system. The next thing is about background app refreshing. So what you should do, you should go to settings and you should go to privacy, and you should go to also location services. Now what is location services? Basically it will track your location wherever you are, and whenever location services is on, there is an arrow right over here just like this, which is situated on top of your near your battery symbol. So when that is active all the time, you keep on using more and more battery. So apps tend to use these location services, and it is not necessary actually. Like for example, camera or compass do not need location and unnecessary. So if you do not need, you should click on that application and always select never. Or if you want to use it, you can say while using the application. Do not set it to always, as it is mentioned right over here. This was about the location services. So now what you should do is about the background app refresh, like your WhatsApp messages come in the background, etc. So what you should do, you should go to general, you should go to background app refresh, and you can see right over here background app refresh. I've kept it on because I get notifications on any other application. So turn off the applications which do not require the background app refresh, and you feel that you should not be getting notifications of that application. Like for example, iBooks. I don't know why they have included this notification about the iBooks over here. Even podcast is not needed. So unnecessary application background app refreshing is not required. So this consumes a hell amount of battery. So ensure that you disable the application which do not use that background app refreshing. The next thing is about a feature which is called as handoff. So what you should do, you should go to settings, you should go to general, and you can see handoff. What is basically handoff is, if you're connected to a Mac computer with your iPhone, that means your Apple ID, if you have some session right over going over here, for example Safari, then you will be able to continue that session in your MacBook or your Mac computer, because this gets stored on your iCloud. This is not at all necessary because this continuously uses the amount of internet and uses the amount of battery. So better advice is turn it off. It is not necessary for those users who do not need it. The next thing is about app updates. So what you should do, you should go to settings, you should go to App Store, and you can see right over here that updates, apps, books and audiobooks, this is all automatic download. So basically if you enable this update, so whenever you're in a background or you're not using your phone, your Wi-Fi is on, this will update your apps automatically. So data is used as well as your battery is also used. So to prevent that, you should just turn it off. Whenever it is necessary, you can just go to the App Store and update your apps, or maybe it might even notify you manually, so you can update it manually. The next step is some visual effects and animation. You might have seen that iOS 10 and iOS 11, there is a bit more animations included in the iOS 11, so making it much more smoother to use. Now, do you know that these animations can also consume a lot of battery? So what you should do, you should go to settings, you should go to general, you should go to accessibility, and you go down and you can see reduce motion. So what does reduce motion do is, when you enable it and you just go back, see it directly goes to the home screen. So animation is minimal. So because of that, your battery is saved and you do not need to worry about how much battery will go with the usage of that animation. So the next thing is about screen timeout. I had talked about this in the previous clip where I had talked about a low power mode, but here in this case you can also set it to manually. Like for example, you should go to settings, you should go to display and brightness, and you see this option right over here, auto lock. So when you click on this, you have variety of options from 30 seconds to never. So I will recommend you should select to 30 seconds. So battery saved at that moment. I am keeping it for a minute currently. I'll just show you guys. But 30 seconds is the optimal time to keep the screen timeout, as it will save a lot of battery. The next thing is about notifications. So you go to settings and you go to notifications. Now you can see over here that many applications want to provide you notifications with the help of badges, sounds and banners. Unnecessary applications do not need it. So whenever you do not need it, you can just turn it off. Like if it is on like in this way, you can just turn it off. So this will also save amount of battery on your iPhone or your iPad. And apps like mail or something, alright, that is not an issue, but health and home do not require. So you can just disable that. The next thing is something which I would like to share with you guys. If you enable Wi-Fi or Bluetooth on any iPhone or your iPad, like for example I have enabled Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, you will be like, okay, I can turn off that Wi-Fi from the control center. So when you just turn it off, it does not exactly turn off. So what you should do is you have to go and check whether it is off or on. Go to settings and you will see right over here Wi-Fi and Bluetooth not connected. So basically this goes into standby mode. It does not switch off. So what you should do, you should go and disable Wi-Fi like this. So with the help of that, you will also be able to save that amount of data. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope these tricks will be useful for those people who are facing this draining battery issue. And soon Apple will be rolling out its updates to fix this draining battery issue. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to this channel Techie Perry, or this is your first time, my name is Noel Pargaonkar and this is my channel Techie Perry. Do subscribe. If you have any comments or any feedback, please do leave it in the comment section of this video. Please share this video and I'll see you guys in my next video.